Welcome to Hello Main Street, where we talk about thought provoking tips, tricks, and ideas for fellow entrepreneurs just like you. I am your host, Monica Sanchez, and today we have with us Ms. Dana Hillman, our digital tech tutor. Welcome, Ms. Dana.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Give us a little bit of your background. I know you've been a lot into digital and tech in the tech world. So tell our audience a little bit about you.
So I have been in IT and application support for over 10 years. And when I started with Digital Helpmates, I realized that I could get paid for helping people learn how to use their devices, their computers, and certain programs like Google Apps and such, but still be able to help them understand that uh, it's not the bad thing that people think. We want to have them have be confident to be able to use their technology to help them live their lives, not take over their lives.
Yeah. Yep. No, absolutely. And I understand that completely because there's times when I can get overwhelmed myself with technology. I know that you have helped me, and so I wanted to share with our audience out there how to prevent digital fraud. And we've talked about this in many ways. One I know is through passwords, right? Because you saw my passwords, you're like, ah,
Yeah.
change your passwords. So let's help others, especially other entrepreneurs, right? We're all so busy. So let's talk about some things and how to prevent digital fraud. So take it away.
So we are in the Christmas season, the holiday season, where there's a lot of packages going back and forth, UPS, FedEx, Postal Service. You have to be very careful now because the email scams have gone exponentially higher for fraud. So one of the ways that you can uh, pay attention to that is, first of all, know your activity, right? Know your activity, know your accounts, making sure that when you get an email from somebody, you check for certain things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present my screen where I have an example of an email from FedEx that I know I have uh, set up. And let me get that for
Yeah.
you.
And while you're doing that, Dana, it's interesting that you're talking about that because we order packages, right? We do a lot of ordering online. I know, same for my husband. And he had ordered something, but what's interesting is for me, the other day I got a text saying, "Hey, we need to confirm your email address. The email address is wrong." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think so because and it came from a personal email account." I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so. So I went ahead and I deleted it because I'm like, if that's the case, then I'll go to the source and not just confirm it from this email and give my information out. So just being
Absolutely.
very diligent, right? It's really important. So go ahead. So show us what you got there.
So this is from my actual FedEx account. And I know this because if you look, it's going to be from FedEx at messages.fedex.com. I
Okay.
remember opening up the account. I remember setting my notifications. I remember, whether if I'm going to I gave them permission to either email me or text me. I prefer not to text. So just making sure that I get it directly from them from email. Um, that helps with identifying, is this something that I did, or is this something that someone else is sending me? And you're right. A lot of, when you receive an email, a very important thing is to check the email address. If FedEx is sending you something or UPS and they're sending it to you from a Gmail account or some gobbledygook address. That's not them. These are multi-million dollar accounts, companies that have enough money to be able to give each of their employees a personal a company email address, excuse me.
Yeah.
So receiving somebody from, you know, George at laughingmyrearoff@gmail.com, you know, that's not an actual FedEx representative account.
Yeah.
So
So
you
how
can,
do we see in this one that it is a true account?
okay. So first of all, I opened the account. When they send me an email, I was
Okay.
expecting that email. And if you look at the email address, it
So
is
the email
from,
address is kind of small. Is there a way to make it just a little bit bigger so we can see that?
well, I'll
I
read it
know.
off to you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how to make it bigger, but it's from FedEx at message.fedex.com.
Okay.
Okay.
And you were
And it had,
expecting the email. Okay.
I was expecting the email. And you opened up your account. It's telling me that I see the logo, and, you know, the message that they sent to me.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so that is where that is. If I wasn't sure, I would go to FedEx.com itself,
Okay.
and
So go
then,
back to the
you know,
source, right, Dana?
always go back to the source. And as a side note, when you Google something, when you Google a company and you're not sure, try to stay away from the sponsored listings,
Oh,
because that's how sometimes scammers can get you too, is through the
really?
sponsored.
Okay.
So always go to a non-sponsored link provided by the company itself.
Okay. And
Okay,
usually
so
the non-sponsors are usually listed at the top of the
yes,
choices. And then if you scroll down, then you'll see them unsponsored. So just so people have an understanding, so sponsored is where people are actually paying to be listed at the top. So
absolutely.
it could be a company that's an actual company, or it could be a company, or it could be a scam, right? So either one. So you
Right.
always want to be cautious, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank
Absolutely.
you, Dana. And so show us one that you think it looks official, but really is not.
Oh, let me show you. I just had a laugh. Okay, and so while I'm bringing that up,
Yeah.
let's see. Here we go.
Do you got it?
Do you see that?
I do see it. Here we go. There we go. Does that work?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. So this is from a personal email. I use it for junk now because of things like this. So first of all, FedEx at rp.teeidqwn at app.n2cco. Okay, so that's a long gibberish email
Hmm.
address. FedEx is
Sure.
not going to do that. Secondly, if you look closely underneath, and I don't know if you can see this, it
Okay.
says, when you click on the arrow where it says to me right underneath the FedEx name, I'm BCC'd on here. Oh,
Okay.
this is a different one. But I was BCC'd on the original email.
Okay.
BCC means blind copy. So that means this person just mass emailed a whole bunch of people. They did a whole bunch of people and didn't allow for, you know, you can reply. But when if FedEx was on the up and up, if this FedEx was on the up and up, they wouldn't BCC you. It'd be directly to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you say that because with the BCC, just the other day, Dana, that I was going through my emails. And when I was going through my emails, there was a gentleman who had responded to an email. So again, a mass email that I had that was sent out, right? This one person responded, like a reply to all apparently. And he was like, he was very irate. I can't really explain what he was saying on there because it wasn't very nice. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with me or my business, but the email was attached to mine because I believe I was BCC'd in the whole package deal there. And so I just went in and I clicked junk. So what if you're in your email? Should you click on, unsubscribe, or what should you do, Dana?
Okay, so that's a good question. It you have to be very careful when you unsubscribe from something.
Mhm.
If you remember that you subscribe to something, then yes, unsubscribe. However, if you're starting to get emails and from places that you've never heard of, you don't remember ever getting to the website to subscribe in the first place, you have to be very careful about unsubscribing because that's how scammers also get you. Unsubscribing just confirms that they got the right email address from you,
Mm,
right?
okay.
So then they can sell that information to other people, scammers and
Great.
non-scammers, right? So what I would recommend, and don't just delete it, but just move it to spam. In your email, what's really nice about Google is when you start marking things as spam, it's going to start recognizing the type of emails and the type of email addresses that are coming
Mhm.
in and start automatically marking that as spam. Of course, every once in a while, you want to go in there and make sure that you don't have legitimate items that are spammed. So you can always, create filters for those.
Yeah.
But yeah, only unsubscribe from those that you remember subscribing to in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important, especially for us as entrepreneurs, because we don't want to miss out on an opportunity to have a potential client. So just being wary of going back to, like the emails, and the text messages and the phone calls. Um,
Right.
if it seems suspicious, do you feel like
Right.
if it seems suspicious, more than likely it probably is suspicious?
Oh God,
And
yes.
okay. Yeah. And
Yes.
it's like we don't wanna miss a deal, right? So we're
Right.
like, "Oh, we gotta check everything, and we wanna make sure we reply to people," but,
Right.
God, there's so much out there these days that really,
I
what's a takeaway you want us to know about, Dana, as far as preventative?
be cynical of everything. It Sorry. But yeah, you kind of have to be. Digital scammers are becoming more prevalent and they're everywhere now and they're always thinking of new ways to scam you, whether it's on your email, on your Facebook, even your social media or your phone texting. There's a lot of people that are getting calls from Microsoft. They're not going to call you. The only way you should even receive that call is if you initiated it in the first place and are expecting that call.
Mhm.
So, be cynical. If oh, this is tech support and we noticed that you da 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 da. Nope. Sorry. Nope. You know, um be cynical of everything, and I hate to say it, but you kind of have to be. Verbiage, grammar,
Yeah.
spelling, email addresses, and also when you get sent an email, like I would receive emails from my coworkers telling me to confirm their uh, their account numbers so that they can get paid. Well,
Oh,
me and
wow.
my coworkers we don't communicate through email that way. We communicate uh, through a program that's all internal. So I know they were fake. So be
Yeah.
aware of, okay, what is your environment like? If email is how you normally communicate with each other, then yes, just make sure that you are cynical and check their email address and
Yeah.
follow up with that person directly if it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
So,
are great tips, Dana. I really do appreciate that. And I feel like we really need to be mindful of our the I don't know, the our older population, right? Who they're getting into the
yeah.
tech world and all of that. Recently, I had seen what happened was one of the people from my mom's church, she was like, she got a text message and it looked legitimate to her, right? And it was the pastor of the church and asking for her to buy so many gift cards and he would reimburse her and yada yada yada. And then come to find out, when she had met him at a meeting the other day, she was like, I have those gift cards. And he's like, what are you talking about? And so she got scammed that way, being thinking I'm helping out the church and all of that stuff. So
Mhm.
I feel like they sometimes can be more vulnerable in those spots because they
Yes.
have that giving heart and they may not question a text that comes through that looks legitimate to them. So
Right.
again, like you said, Dana, I really love it where you said go back to the source. I even had somebody who I changed my email recently, and then she texted me and said, "Is this you?" And I said, "Yes, this is me. It's not a scam." So, or even like when your bank account, right? I've had a voicemail come through from my bank saying, "Hey, we're checking on your fraud, push this pound number, whatever." And I just hung up, but I got my bank card number and I called the number that's on the back of my card. So I went back to the source so that way I could confirm everything. But yeah, you have to be a little bit more diligent these days, unfortunately. So
Now, you did say something about the gift cards. Scammers will do that a lot, especially on our senior citizens. They will say gift card. They're going to come through as a trusted source
yeah,
and say, in order for you to pay this back, or even, like your account is suspended, and the only way you can get back is through gift cards or, however. So
right,
if go, like you said, go back to the source,
right.
question the gift card, especially the gift cards. And so there's just so many things out there. Just, be cynical, go back to the source. If anything, be cynical and go back to the source.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I appreciate that so much. And what I like is we're going to have another series. We're going to have series going forward in this coming year about different things. So we will touch on different topics as they come through. So thank you so much, Dana, for your time. I really do appreciate it. If you liked this episode, please like, subscribe, share this content with others. The more that we are shared out there, the more that we can help each other, because as you know, we are better together. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.